U.S. President Joe Biden says that the U.S. will strike back, this after a deadly drone attack killed 3 U.S. service members and wounded over 40 at a small base in Jordan over the weekend. What isn't yet clear is who will be hit where and how hard. Facing growing pressure in an election year, Biden is holding Iran responsible for supplying the weapons to the people who carried out the deadly attack on the military base.
Yes. I do hold them responsible in the sense that they're supplying the weapons to the people who did it.
Pentagon has a wide array of options, but the U.S. must walk a fine line. A weak response will do little to deter further attacks by Iran-backed militia groups, while a major assault risks expanding the turmoil in the Middle East and drawing America into a wider conflict. Striking inside Iran, including on the Revolutionary Guard's Quds force, will send a strong direct message to Tehran. But Iran is no Syria or Afghanistan. It has a powerful military and can pack a powerful punch. Many experts argue that such a move is needed because U.S. strikes on Iran-backed militias in recent months have not deterred them. But it also would be the riskiest move due to worries that it would inflame militias and endanger Tehran. Tehran is watching cautiously. Iran's envoy to the United Nations has warned that the country will respond decisively to any potential attack. The risks notwithstanding, the 3 U.S. service members are the first to be killed in militia strikes since that Hamas attack against Israel and the war in Gaza started. Their deaths have triggered demands for a strong American response. All right. For more on this, we are being joined by Mark Marowitz. He's a professor at State University of New York Maritime College and also a political analyst and lawyer. Mark, welcome to WION. Welcome back. If President Biden says he doesn't want to expand the war, but also says that he has decided on a response, what should one presume Biden is going to do?
Well, he has a lot of options. One would be to, as you say, strike the IRGC or Quds force, not necessarily in Iran, but in Syria and where else in the world that Iran is doing its mischief, malevolence, and violence. But I think that the problem here is Biden's indecisiveness. Actually, if you look at the statistics, there have been 159 attacks by proxies against the United States elements throughout the Middle East since October 17th. And the United States has supplied millions and billions of dollars to Iran, including in connection with a ridiculous nuclear deal that was actually President Trump terminated, which President Biden put back in place. And I should say about options, it's important to keep in mind that in 2019, when the Iranian proxies killed an American contractor, Trump ordered the killing of Soleimani, a very high-level military officer in Iran, which proves that the United States can be decisive when it needs to be. The problem, I think, here is the statements from the Pentagon. The statements from Biden is, we don't want a wider war. We're afraid of a wider war. So what is the point? If you're sitting in Iran and you're listening to this, it's once again, this is the United States of America with the large Navy, with aircraft carriers. And who is challenging us? The Houthis, Hezbollah, Hamas. And please remember, and it's very hard to forget, that in 1983, Hezbollah attacked the Marine barracks in Beirut and killed 241 Marines. So throughout this period, since the Iranian Revolution, the Iranians have been doing all these things. And now Biden just, I'm going to do something about it, but I don't want a wider war. Hamas, Hezbollah, Houthis, they're upending the world. So the United States needs to step in and do something about it. So that's kind of where we are we call it it's a Middle East muddle. That's what I would say.
It's very interesting. I mean, for lack of a better word, that President Biden constantly picks the least confrontational approach to issues like this. And when he came in office, everyone was very happy that, quote unquote, the adults were back in the room. And here we are, after Russia, and then you have these attacks, and then you have, others that are attacking Americans across the region as well, in the Red Sea and elsewhere. And there doesn't seem to be a consensus on what exactly is the best path forward. There's always this sort of wandering around of what to do. My next question to you, Mark, is how much is the possibility of the specter of a direct Iran-US military conflict? I mean, Iran would probably be crazy if they wanted something like this.
Well, always keep in mind that the oil economy of the world and the economy of the world is right there in the Straits of Hormuz. And I remember at one point where Iran said, we're going to sink ships in the Strait of Hormuz and we'll just destroy the whole oil economy. So they've got a big hold on that. I think the other thing we should keep in mind is the fact that politics is local, which means that Biden is running for president. And, while it is true that American presidents tend to be very popular during times of war, I don't think he's very worried about his chances. And this is actually the way that he's negotiating with Israel and Hamas. Hamas attacked on October 7th. Hezbollah and Houthis are attacking on a regular basis. And he's afraid he's going to have a wider war, because if he does, then he's going to be in the middle of a war. He's going to be blamed by it, particularly by the progressives in the Congress, the Democrats, and Democratic voters are not going to vote for him because he put us into a war. Now, that's a very, very poor excuse for diplomacy and leadership. We look to the president for leadership. We just lost 3 wonderful troops, great, wonderful Americans. I'm looking at them. I'm sad. I'm in tears for their families. He's the president, and he has to go, to welcome the coffins of those soldiers. He's the president. Now, how is he going to do that? When he sees that, he's going to be able to just, I'm afraid, I don't know what I'm going to do. He needs to act. Because if he doesn't act, then the United States becomes, I don't know, that was the term, I don't know about China, called us a paper tiger. We're just a paper tiger. The Iranians have expanded into the entire Middle East. I've always asked this question. I never understood the answer. Why are there Iranian Revolutionary Guards in Syria? What are they doing there? Why are they in there? They don't belong there, and they don't belong in Latin America, and they don't belong around the world, but they seem to have expanded their influence. And then the United States provides monetary incentives, and we help them. It's a crazy situation.
It is. It really is. Mark, it's always great to talk to you. Thank you so much for all of your analysis. And I look forward to speaking to you again very soon. We'll be watching in the next hours and days ahead to see what actions President Biden decides to take.
Thank you very much, Susan.